Hello everyone and welcome to a speed build with me, VelvettB, and today we are building this particular home here, and this is going to be a starter home that will be going into my save file that I am creating. I'm very excited about this save file, and this home is for a character called Rain Kingley, and he is an archaeologist who has been out in the jungle for quite a while on a dig, and he's finally just come home. The dig's finished. He's decided he wants to spend some time with his family. His parents are getting older, and he wants to spend a bit of time with them before they pass. They live in Copperdale, so he's gotten himself a small little starter home in Copperdale, something that is quite masculine and suited him perfectly. He's not home a lot because he's quite often off with his parents, or he's off at the library doing research, or he's off doing lots of things. He's a guy who doesn't spend a lot of time at home, and yeah, he's an archaeologist and a historian, so he has an archaeology table, he has lots of books, and that's really him. So I have built him a little masculine starter home, and I've given him like a little carport which is going on the side there, which you can see. I did decide to raise up the house, so I couldn't connect the garage and the house, unfortunately, which is kind of what I wanted to do initially, but that plan has been blown. So just working on the roof and how I want that to sit. So I was thinking about having like a little a roof hangover thing, but it just kind of looked weird, so I just decided to do it like a little sticky outfit instead. And the color theme that I'm going with this house is I decided to go with brown, because I did want to sort of do like quite a lot of dark masculine woods. It was kind of the vibe I was going for with this one, and it is going to be a 1-bedroom 1-bathroom home, so just perfect for a bachelor like him. Now, going into the history of Rain, so he used to be a history teacher at Copperdale High, and he got a grant to go to the jungle and look for artifacts, so that's what he took off and did instead of doing teaching, which was just there to pay the bills until he got his grant. Along the way, he actually had a little bit of a romance with a former student, like they had a bit of a crush on each other when he was a teacher. But nothing happened until he left the teaching profession just before he disappeared off into the jungle. They had a one-night stand, and that is going to come into play later when I start playing the save file. So there's going to be a little bit of a romance for him further down the track, which I'm excited to play out. And so for the time being though, he's back in Copperdale, and he's spending time with his parents and doing research, writing papers, and doing things that archaeologists do that I don't know about, quite honestly. So as you can see here with the color palette for the house, I have gone with the stone and the wood, and in the darker colors as well, and I'm going to carry that through into the interior a bit as well. I will break it up with a bit of a lighter color too, so it's not too dark. But yeah, I was definitely going for a super masculine vibe on this one. And yeah, it's not something I actually build a lot, so I was quite excited to do like something that was quite masculine. Because yeah, I do probably things that may be a little bit more girly for me, because I'm a girl and I like pretty things. And I think this actually, even though it is more masculine, I think it's still quite pretty as well. So I think I did all right there. The whole idea behind this build as well is that I did think of it as being like a little unkempt and uncared for, because it's not really his thing, like caring for the property. I'm just looking for a car at the moment that I like, so I went with a black pickup truck because I thought that sort of suited him. I kind of wish, like, if there was motorcycles in Debug, I would have given him a motorcycle, because he seems like a motorcycle kind of guy, but a black pickup truck is the second alternative there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the property is going to be like a little bit unkempt because he doesn't spend a lot of time at home, or if he is home, his like head's stuck in the books and he's like researching and he's writing papers, although I didn't give him a computer because I didn't have money. Because it's a starter home and I used the money on other things and I forgot, and there wasn't really room. I mean, yeah, I could have made room, but I didn't. So yeah, so it is, the property is like a little unkempt. There's like a, yeah, he's not into cleaning a whole lot because it's just like, I don't have time for that. So yeah, it does have that kind of vibe, but it's still, I think, quite nice. It's definitely going for a wooden vibe, so I use a lot of wood in this, but I think it really suits him, so I was happy to do that. So it took me like quite a while just to work through which windows I wanted. So I ended up going for, I actually don't know which ones they are. I think they're seasons, actually, come to think of it. So yeah, because I didn't want anything, I didn't feel like a super modern house, so it felt like a little bit more rustic than that. Like not super rustic, but a little bit more rustic than a modern home. So I didn't want to go for like the big clear panes. I felt that wasn't going to quite fit the look. So yeah, I was really happy with how these windows turned out in the end, or the choice turned out for the windows. So then it's the fun job of trying to work out what I wanted to do in the interior. So I was thinking as I was going through, I was like, okay, green. I ended up changing the walls because it's too much green, so there you go. But the colour that I am actually going to pull through the rest of this build is going to be like pops of that sort of, I don't know, it's like a pistachio or like a sage kind of green, isn't it? So yeah, so there's actually quite a lot of options in The Sims for that particular green, so it ended up being quite a good colour to use. And then I had a bit of a fun time trying to work out what I wanted to do with the kitchen, because I wanted to have like a different tile, but I was like, I didn't want to go like too fussy, and then I didn't really want it to be super blendy, so I was like, I don't know what I want. This is tricky. So I like left it with green for a while and just sat on it for for a little bit of time as I worked through some other things. Like, I'll just put green there and I'll think about it. So there's like a little fireplace which is put into the wall a little bit, so I know that cuts off the heat a bit, but you know, it's Sims, not real life, so it's fine. And it's sort of, I wanted it to sit within the chimney. I will need to go in before I put this on the gallery and put the stone back in the little fire area, because I did have that all stone and then I forgot. I also put in some shelves there in the corner. I was intending to put things on there, but I ran out of money, so that's for later when he earns a bit more money from whatever he's doing. I might make him a teacher or something, and then he can go back to the teaching gig. I don't know, I haven't decided on that yet, or if he's just going to be like a researcher and then like he's earned enough money from his like grant. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, just going back to the kitchen. So I'm just working on, I went with a dark brown wood, and then I'm going back to the tiling on behind, and ended up deciding to go with the basic Digital World light tiling, which worked nicely, I think, behind the dark brown wood from the Horse Ranch pack. So just having like a little breakfast bar and just sort of getting that around the corner there, so that he can sit there at the breakfast nook and have a bit of breakfast. Probably a quick meal. He's not much for cooking either. So then we have, I mean, it's not much of a space for a living area, but I managed to fit like a little bit in here. So we've got like a couch and a TV and stuff like that in that corner. I did a little bit out on the porch because I think I could see him in the evening sitting out on the porch and like he's reading and researching a book or something like that. And I did put like a little fitness area into the yard as well. Like, I didn't think like he'd be into gardening, but fitness kind of made sense for him. So like, takes out his frustrations of the day on doing a workout, having a box or using his gym machine there. And I did use the werewolf stuff because I sort of thought that would fit. So then I was thinking about the garden and how that was going to go. I think I come back to this. I sort of put the space there. I'm like, I'm going to put a garden there, but I'm not 100% sure as to what exactly I will put in that space. Oh no, I do it now. Okay. So as I mentioned before, I do like a bit of a I sort of make it an unkempt kind of garden, so like there's some rocks, there's some dry grass because he doesn't bother to weed it much, some flowers that have sort of popped through despite his best efforts to not do anything, and yeah, so it's pretty simple, but I think it kind of suits the vibe of the house, and just like a plant that he's found in the jungle that he's brought back with him or something, I don't know. I don't think he'd probably bring a plant back with him, but maybe it's something his mum gave him, and he put it in like the planter that he got from the jungle, because it's a jungle adventure pack one, and then just a werewolf chair at the front in that sage green as well, just something to sit on the front porch in the evenings if you feel so inclined. So then I am moving into the lounge, so I'm using their beautiful green couch. I love this couch, I think it's gorgeous and I love it, so there. And I was initially going to go with like the industrial kit kind of furniture, but then I changed my mind and went with more the jungle adventure pack stuff. So then I had the joy of trying to work out what I wanted to do here, because I felt like he has to have a TV. I mean, he might want to like chill out and have a beer and have, you know, watch some sports or something like that. So yeah, I did want to give him like a gaming console, because maybe that could be like a hobby he has in the very little downtime he has. And then I saw this TV and I was like, oh, hang on, it's like a old school TV, and it's not like he's going to have something super modern, because he doesn't really have the time to sit there and watch TV all that often, just on the odd day here and there, so he's got something to entertain himself. And I just put a couple of cobwebs around the place because, yeah, as I mentioned, he's not really into the whole cleaning thing. So then I was working on what to put beside this TV cabinet thingy-majiggy. I was thinking a plant, then I was like, nah, he's not going to care for a plant. It would just be dead. So bookshelf, and then there wasn't any like narrow bookshelves. So I found this shelving that I thought was A, narrow enough, and B, had some books on it. I was like, okay, that'll do perfectly. That's the kind of thing that he would have in his house. And then I sort of scattered books around because, again, he's a reader and he loves books, so that makes perfect sense to me. So oh yeah, I made a boo-boo in the lounge as well, because I shifted the door, and then you'll see a little bit later what the boo-boo is. So I need to go back and fix it. So the lounge will change again in a short minute, I think. But I've got the horse ranch lamp there. I'm just looking at doing some of the shelving and stuff with the jungle adventure pack, but then I looked at how expensive it was, and I was like, no. I'm not going to have money to buy like the bathroom or the bedroom if I do that. So yeah, that was a no, Velvet, no. For the bathroom, I actually did this a little bit differently, in the sense that I did like a separate bathroom or separate toilet, and then did the shower area separate as well. I ended up taking out the windows. I think I ran out of money to put them back, so oops. Anyway, so I went with the horse ranch shower, the DIY sink. I don't know what pack that's from, and I just put like I thought a shelving unit in the other half of the bathroom. Rather, I was tempted to put a toilet, but I was like, why does he really need two toilets? He's not going to be like super social. It makes more sense for him to have like a cabinet or something in there just to put his towels and whatnot. And yeah, and he does seem like the kind of guy that would like take it to a laundromat and get it dry cleaned or something, rather than wash it himself, because who has time for that when you're too busy studying and being a archaeologist? I don't know. So just moving into the bedroom, I'm just going to continue the theme with pops of the sage green coming through, and just using, I think those are the cheap Eco Living curtains, so they're really good for a starter house. And I went with chocolate brown in his bedroom, not the wood, but just kept up with the chocolate brown. Oh, this is where the point where I realized that I had moved the door and it was going out onto the porch and not into the bedroom. So yeah, oops. Then it's a fun job of trying to work out what bed I'm going to go for. So I was sort of having a bit of a play around. I filtered it to green and came up with, I think that's a home decorator bed, and that actually ended up being a good fit. and a good style, I think, for him as well. I did think about a couple of end tables, and I realised it's probably just him, and he wouldn't really go for 2 end tables if he didn't have to. So I put a little stool in the corner. I am running low on money at this stage. So it's a bit of a juggling act, finding things that I can use that would fit what I'm kind of trying to do, which is like a little dresser area. But anyway, I think I am about done. I ended up getting rid of the dining hutch because I was like, well, that's something he might not use so much and probably not care about so much. So I got rid of that because that was probably the thing that stood out to me as not being quite his vibe. And then just put a couple of bits of decoration on his dresser and something on the wall. And I think we are just about done with this build. Oh, and we need a rug as well. And I had like 50 simoleons or 61 simoleons left, so it's kind of like, which rug can I do? Anyway, use the cats and dogs one. So that was pretty good. So here we are. We're going to take a wee look at our bill. So you can see Rain standing on the outside there. And I'm really happy with how this came out. I think it's really pretty, and it really suits the masculine vibe that I was going for, or really captures the masculine vibe that I was going for. So I'm really happy, and it's kind of like the lot is off by itself a little bit as well, which I feel like was kind of him as well. So I think the location ended up being quite a good one for him in particular, because it's kind of off on its own, and it's got an amazing view, and yeah, kind of peaceful. And he's not the kind of guy that would spend a lot of time down at the pier, but hey, maybe he want to go down there and do something with his family. So moving on to the inside, so it is very much a wood vibe, definitely, but I feel like it's actually quite nice breaking the brown with the pops of the sage green. I think that's really pretty. I really love that color. I need to use it more. And I think, I mean, I would love some more of the decorations. I would love to have put some more stuff on the wall, but you know, it's a starter home, and I feel quite happy with how I use my money. I think I got a lot for my money, actually. I think we did pretty well as far as this goes for a starter home. I mean, he's got lots of books, he's got a breakfast area, he's got a TV, he's got a gaming console, he's got an archaeology table, lots of books, a fairly decent bed, a dresser. I mean, I can't always fit that sort of stuff in a starter home, so I think we did pretty well there. And he's got like even a separate toilet and bathroom, so you know, that's pretty fancy for a starter home if you ask me. So yeah, so going through, we've got our lovely little couch that I adore, and then going through the bedroom. I mean, he's even got curtains. He's got something on the wall in his bedroom. He's got a lamp. I mean, you know, I'd be stoked with this if I was a sim starting out in the world and I got this home. I think it ended up looking really good. He's got clothes there that he can wear. I mean, that's a bonus. Always nice to have some clothes. And yeah, as I said, like a, you know, not a great bed, but a decent bed that can be upgraded. And then going through, he's got a separate toilet there, so a DIY basin. So he's got, like, you know, his cleaning stuff under there, and then through to his bathroom. And I think that's nice with the towel holder thingy too. So that's our layout. It's pretty simple. It's basically a three room house. Well, I mean, technically 4 rooms, because you got your bathroom, which is split into 2. Your kitchen, dining, and living is all together in one space, and then just the bedroom off to the side. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.